am super excited to have you again on this interesting episode of Life Points with Lucy. Today, we shall be discussing something of interest to me, and that is effective communication. See, a lot of people go about saying, I don't know, I communicated, I spoke to him, I spoke to her, but he or she doesn't seem to understand. Could it be that you're not communicating effectively? So, that's why I have decided to say something on this so that anybody who is interested can pick one or two things to help you in being effective with your communication. So, what is communication really? Simply put, communication is the exchange of information between two or more persons. It could also be the process of sending messages and receiving messages through verbal or non-verbal means. Now, you can only say communication has taken place when there's a shared meaning between the sender and the receiver. But then again, to the extent to which these people, these two or more persons, use the same symbol to refer to a particular phenomena or to refer to a particular thing, then you can say effective communication has taken place. This symbol can be language, that is both of them or more than two of them speaking the same language. It could be an iconic representation, like we do. You could have different ways of representing things in shorthand those days, or anything at all. People have very lovely ways of writing things these days. So if you write the same thing that I'm writing, I'm sure you understand that that's what we're doing. If you want to say great and I use a GR8 and you understand it, so you know I'm saying great. That's what I mean by iconic representation. And just like we use in our smartphones these days, you have a facial expression and you put it up with the emoji, and it's the same thing. You understand the emoji, so the communication is done. So when you do that, then there's effective communication. So effective communication takes place when these people who are involved in this conversation or communication refer to a particular thing using the same symbol. Then effective communication has taken place. Now, for every communication you see, there are two processes that are dominant, and they are creating the message and then interpreting the message. And so it's in this area that people try to lose out, and then they say, I don't understand why he's not getting the message. I don't understand why she's not getting the message. So let's go in and look at the 3 secrets of effective communication, because everybody wants to communicate effectively, isn't it? Number 1, body language. Pay attention to body language. Body language constitutes about 55% of every communication that you see. 38% is about the tone. 7% the word. So you see how important body language is, or non-verbal communication can be. 2, keep your communication simple, concise and clear, especially when it is an instruction. It will help the other person to grasp better. It will also help you to avoid ambiguity. Keep it simple, keep it concise, and make it clear. And then 3, manage your expectations. Oftentimes, we put a lot of expectation on people when we have sent a message to them. What we forget is that there are other possible influences on the part of the receiver that might affect his understanding, his interpretation of the message you have sent. We call it noise in communication. It can be political noise, it can be religious noise, it can be economic noise. And somebody who is looking for money, if you send that information to him or her, all he or she will be hearing is money, money. And you don't blame him or her. It can be emotional noise. I mean, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, it can deafen somebody's ears. So all of that put together affects the interpretation of your message to someone. Therefore, you should factor that in as a sender, not to put so much expectation on your receiver, and also to know that it's possible that you send a message and people wouldn't understand it the way you wish them to do so. So, what do? You reduce your expectations so that when it comes in, if it hits the target, all well and good. If it didn't, you had already factored that in ahead of time, so you wouldn't have problems. And that will also make you not to get frustrated, because oftentimes frustration is as a result of what you expect and what you experience. The void between them is what gets you frustrated. So if you can manage your expectations, you're very sure that your frustration will be greatly reduced. So I just hope that you have been able to pick at least one thing from our discussion today. And remember, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe so that we could keep engaging and keep pushing out the right content. Till then, from me to you, bye.